watched him rise.
What now?
Now watch him headline.
That's it! Two of the very best.
It's all on the line.
What a fantastic matchup.
This card stacked from top to bottom. I cannot wait.
Anastasia, we don't get knocked out.
Buckle your seatbelts, ladies and gentlemen.
UFC 324. Live only on TNT Sports box office.
Welcome to Las Vegas for the first UFC card of 2026. I'm Adam Catterall, and it's a pleasure, as always, to be in your company. Joining me for these big moments, Mr. Nick Pete and the Hall of Famer himself, Mr. Michael Bisping. There is a smell of violence in the air, and we're all looking forward to it. But first, of course, this is weigh-in day. The boys and girls are going to be hitting the scales just behind us here at the T-Mobile Arena in a matter of moments. But first, Mike, come on. First one of the new year. There is something special bubbling in Las Vegas this week, and we're hopefully going to be getting a cracking main event.
Oh, absolutely. The place is starting to fill up with the Scousers, and Nick Pete's happy. The atmosphere is electric. Yesterday at the press conference, the fighters, you know, they were talking a little bit of smack. Things were getting a little bit spicier. Justin Gaethje saying that he's got to dog walk Paddy Pimblett. Paddy, of course, has been exuding confidence all week. I can't wait for this one.
And card-wise, not just the main event, the card-wise is stacking up as well, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Listen, and no, and the prelims as well. You know, there's a sprinkling of Brits right through the card. It's not just Paddy. I feel like this 6-week break, can't remember last time UFC had a 6-week
December
break.
13th.
It's just made the energy levels rise even more. Every fan you speak to out on the strip, everyone is engaged with this fight. Every casino, the felt's got the full takeover, logos everywhere. You know UFC has landed in Las Vegas this weekend. They've taken over the city, and it's going to deliver tomorrow night.
You just crash yourself up. Your wife's going to be watching this, mate, thinking, what's he been up to? Thinking that you've been working. You've been in the casinos. How do you know about all this casino stuff?
And I just know.
You can't go anywhere without being in the casino.
Good save, Mike. Good save. Good save. Good save. Good save, Dave. Listen, that card that Nick's just been referring to there, let's take a look at it, because this is how your main card is shaping up on TNT Sports box office. There it is, that main event, Justin Gaethje versus Paddy Pimblett, supported by Sean O'Malley and Song Yadong, which will be an absolute cracking fight. The heavyweights are on deck as well, with Waldo Cortes-Acosta and Derek Lewis, a new slimline Derek Lewis as well, looking to do his business on Saturday night. Natalia Silva on a hot streak right now, taking on former champion in the weight division below him, Rose Namajunas. And of course, he's back 18 months away. Arnold Allen returns, taking on Jean Silva. That's your main card. From midnight on TNT Sports box office, you've got the prelims here with Umar Nurmagomedov and Davison Figueiredo. Yes, your eyes are not deceiving you. Those two are the featured prelim. That is ridiculous. Atiba Gauthier, Nick's new best mate. We'll talk about him a little later on in the show. He's taking on Andrei Puliev. We've got Nikita Krylov taking on Modestas Bukauskas, as well as Alex Perez kicks it all off with Charles Johnson. Yeah. And breathe. We'll concentrate, though, before these guys and girls get on the scales, on the main event. We've got to talk keys to victory, man. Loads of people at home are talking about this matchup. They're excited about it. They're guaranteed the violence. But where are the keys to victory for both of these guys? Starting with Paddy.
Yeah, so, I mean, Paddy, if you ask Paddy, or he's been speaking to everyone saying the same thing, he feels he can win this fight anywhere. He truly believes that he can walk him down, he can throw with him, he can strike with him, he can hurt him on the feet. Of course, he believes that he can submit him on the ground as well. I think he's got to be a little bit careful. You know, it's all well and good saying that, but going forward, being reckless against Justin Gaethje could catch him in problems. As we see there, the submission ability of Paddy, it really is second to none. He's one of the best submission grapplers in all of the sport right now. I think the key is to find a way to start a grappling adventure. Of course, it starts on the feet. You got to throw strikes, but then wait for Justin to make a mistake and capitalise on that. Justin Gaethje has never been taken down by anybody not named Khabib Nurmagomedov. So for Paddy going forward and throwing, you know, single legs, double legs, high crotches, that ain't going to work. But something opportunistic might be able to sweep a leg, maybe slips, get him down to the ground. For Justin Gaethje, he's just got to get him in the pocket. He's got to back him up against the fence, close it down, make the octagon small, and swing in the pocket. I think he's got the bigger power. We've seen it time and time again. Yeah, he got knocked out against Max Holloway, but he came back against Fiziev, looked phenomenal, took shots. The chin is still there. The power is still there. The head kick win over Dustin Poirier, one of his signature victories, but he's not the only person he knocked out. For For Justin, it's pretty simple. Back him up, get him in the pocket, back him up against the fence so he's got nowhere to run, nowhere to hide, cut the cage off, make it small, and just go to town and let loose with the strikes. If he does that, it could be a problem for Paddy, because the reality is Paddy has an unorthodox style, does have the chin still a little bit high, but he's effective and he's getting away with it.
Both lads, bonus machines. Talk to me about Paddy's week. I think both of them have been fantastic, both on the mic this week. But from Paddy's point of view and the journey to this particular point, just explain how big this would be for Liverpool MMA.
I think, well, it'd be absolutely gigantic for the city, of course, and it'd be gigantic for UK MMA as well, you know. So, because Paddy's been a star before he even got to this stage, and that's what I've been talking to a lot of the other media about this week. They're saying, you know, will a moment get to him? Has he ever, you know, he's never fought on this grander scale before. He's never been a main event. I said, mate, he's been a main event since he was in his early 20s. I know that was on Cage Warriors. I know it was a lesser promotion, but he was selling out the arena in his hometown. You want to talk about pressure? That's pressure when you're a young 20-year-old lad. So go out here to Las Vegas, being the main event. He's manifested all this stuff anyway. The entire journey, the last 10 years, has building towards this point. Chatting to him yesterday, I'm more nervous than him. I'm feeling the emotion more than him. He's fired up and ready to go.
And it's all a natural progression as well. As you said, main event back in England all the time. But then when he got to the UFC, he had all the hype and the circumstance and the pomp and ceremony, walking out and everyone's dancing in the arena. He was always kind of like the unofficial main event. Now it's built up to where he is the main event. So mentally, he's more than ready. And if you speak to him, he thrives in these moments. He's ultra confident. And to him, winning this fight is a mere formality.
Well, he's got the backing of the city. When you were coming through on your rise to becoming UFC champion, who was the highest profile, coolest message that you received, celebrity-wise?
The highest, I always remember... Oh, you mean like celebrity?
Yeah. Someone famous that maybe messaged you, that were a fan of yours, that were bigging you up.
I remember I just won the Ultimate Fighter, and they flew me out to the first event. It was like UFC, I don't know what it was, 59 or something like that, and I'm standing there in the VIP section,
of course,
and I get a tap on the shoulder, and I turn round, and it's a bit old school now for these younger kids, but Wesley Snipes, and he's like,
just wait a minute, let me pick that name up. That's a belter.
Like, how you doing, champ? And I'm like, you know who I am.
That's amazing.
And like now, listen, I rub shoulders, I share private jets with Vin Diesel and people like that. But back then, a lad from Clitheroe, Wesley Snipes, I loved Blade and New Jack City growing up. And I wasn't very cool, right? And I was like, oh, you know who I am. And he was like, okay, I'm out of here. And he made a sharp exit. He was like, this guy's not cool at all. But Wesley, if you watch him, bro, I've grown up. I'm cool. I'm not starstruck.
Let's hang out.
Come on, give me a call, brother.
Well, the reason why I bring that up is because when we were doing the preview show with Paddy this week, there was a very special message that came his way from his favourite Liverpool footballer. If you've missed it, check this out.
Paddy, Stevie G here, mate.
I was meant to be playing with Stevie the other week.
We're all rooting for you in the city. We're all proud of you, mate. Go and do what you need to do. But more importantly, mate, after you're out, because I believe you've been shouting me out for a game of paddle. Only joking, mate. Good luck. Go and do it. Honest to God, we can't wait to watch you, and we're all proud of you. Take it easy, mate.
That. Yeah, Stevie G. Guesty's been getting on me though about having a game with him, so I am going to have a game with him.
I like Stevie.
I've heard he's good, yeah. He's definitely better than me. Like, I've got worse over the past couple of months where I've been focusing on my fight. Last 3 games I've had, I've been beat, lad. It's no good.
Paddy, Stevie G here, mate.
Look at that. Getting a message off Stevie G. Who were more buzzing, him or you? You were loving it, weren't you?
I was absolutely in the element there, yeah. But, you know, Stevie's just referenced it. Other than fighting, Liverpool as a city is obsessed with paddle at the moment. I don't know what it is, but everybody, that's all they want to do. All Paddy wants to do is win this belt Saturday night, get back home and start playing paddle again with his mates. It's absolutely mental.
Talk to me about the mentality from all fighters, not just our main event here. This lull period now, weighing in between now and fight night, keeping that mind nice and calm, keeping your thoughts on track for what you've got to do and deliver on Saturday night?
Well, it all depends what you've been doing leading up to the event. If you've trained properly, if you've put the work in, if you've made the sacrifices, now it's just time to relax and to stay confident and not even think about the fight, because the more you think about the fight, it's just absorbing mental energy. You know, it's like, it's done. The press conference is done. Yeah, they got to make weight today, which is often strenuous for a lot of people, understandably so. But don't think about it.
Don't overthink it.
You've done the work If you haven't, then you start worrying, then you start panicking, then you're backstage before you make the walk at the curtain and the butterflies come in and go, oh man, I wish I did more running, I wish I did more sparring, I wish I flew in a wrestler or whatever it is. But if you've done everything, just chill, just relax, enjoy the moment, because that's one of the things when you go through this kind of journey and you live this life, often when it's done, you look back and you think, I wish I just enjoyed the ride a little bit more, because this is a special time that you're living through.
Well, as you can hear in the background there, John Anik's just about to take to the microphone and welcome these guys and girls on to the scales. And here we go. Looks like it's going to be a main event to get us going.
Lightweight contender competing for the interim lightweight title, Paddy Pimblett.
I'll tell you what,
scale.
I saw a picture of him this week and he looked in absolutely incredible shape.
Yeah, he's been ripped for a while. This whole Paddy the Fatty thing, that's truly gone now. And as the stakes get higher, as the fights get bigger,
You got to take it more serious.
you got to take it more serious.
Oof. He's giving you an extra pound there. Absolutely ripped to bits. Championship weight, of course, for this one is 155 pounds. Paddy coming in at 154, looking incredible. Now the fun bit starts where you can go and refuel there.
And when he stood face to face with Gaethje yesterday, you could see the height difference.
Yeah, even Gaethje commented yesterday, didn't he? He said,
taller.
Are you taller today?
He said you was
standing up straight today.
Yeah.
And I don't know whether, hopefully we get the chance to speak to him. I don't know whether that was a thing Paddy done by design the day before. When I go and meet him, I'll drop my shoulders and I'll come in kind of his level. And then, because Gaethje was visibly shocked. He looked at his shoes. He'd say, what have you got on your feet? You look massive. Paddy's like flexing in front of him, rolling his shoulders back. So a little bit of mind games maybe.
Alex Perez there, Charles Johnson kicking us off on the prelims. These guys have obviously been boosted because we did lose the super fight. I know that we're all a little bit disappointed about that, but that'll be rebooked a little bit later on this year between Amanda Nunes and Kayla Harrison. And as we were talking there, actually I didn't catch the weight, but I'm led to believe that Alex Perez actually just missed weight. He was 2 pounds over, 128.5. So Alex Perez there missing.
Got to get it together, man.
Oh man, 2 pounds over this early as well.
I never have any sympathy for these guys. You got one job. Show up on weight, in shape. That's it.
It's part of the contract, isn't it? You've signed on the dotted line. You've got to go and get the job.
You're a professional fighter. It's not hard, is it? You have months. Oh, He's fainted.
He's blacked out, yeah.
Oh, man.
Let's get a medical team in here.
We're going to need a medical team relatively quickly on that.
The thing, make him
He's
wait.
all right. He's sat up, but he has.
He's just blacked out as he's got off the scale.
Yes, he has.
There's a very good possibility that this fight will be called, though.
He hit the floor face first, and that bang was his head, I think.
Alarming scenes there, just in case you're just joining us back home here for the live weigh-in here at the T-Mobile Arena. We'll get you some more information of what's happening on the stage, but we can tell you that he is sat up. He's talking to his team right now, and
the medical staff
are looking after him.
Obviously, he's got a drink ready. We'll start refueling him slowly, but it was wow.
Yeah, I mean, you know, these weight cuts the fighters go through, because I hear about it now, and they're pushing it more and more. You know, like I was speaking to a few people this week, and they're like, yeah, I've got in kilos, 8 kilos, 9 kilos. Some of them are like 10 kilos. 10 kilos.
What would be your average one when you were cutting weight?
When I got, and this is when I was really cutting weight and pushing it.
Yeah.
If I showed up at the venue at 15 pounds, which is like 7 kilos.
Okay.
But then, as I was
that would be your most.
No, but that was at the start of fight week. So then you flush your body with all the distilled water and you eliminate all carbohydrate. I would start at about 194.
Yeah.
And have to be 185 or 186.
Yeah.
So I was doing 9 pounds, and I'm hearing these guys talking to me this week going, yeah, you know, I've got 14, 15 pounds, easy work. And I'm like, that's an insane amount to cut. Now, I don't know how much he cut, but obviously it was a lot, because I've been there. I've walked out on the scale and I've just been like,
don't know what they
felt dizzy.
Yeah.
Whoa, you're all over the place. You are literally on the verge of death.
Yeah.
You have dehydrated yourself,
of course,
and forced so much fluid out of your body. It's very dangerous.
Yeah.
And this is what you see.
Yeah. You see it a lot with fighters who get. Don't forget, people only have to make weight for 3 seconds. That moment, they're not prolonging at this weight. You'd have cut weight. You know, it'll all be timed perfectly to get on those scales and to hit that magic number bang on. But his body's obviously crying out for fluids. His body's crying out to be rescued, basically, pulled back in. And you know, he was probably. I'll be honest, I'm glad he fell on the stage rather than down the stairs.
Yes.
Oh, it could have been a lot worse.
An awful lot worse, but he was 5-6 steps away from getting what his body needed to chugging that fuel and getting it in him. He was carrying his
equilibrium's completely thrown off. That's why, you know, I was always grabbing hold of the banister and stuff like that, you know, because you were very shaky.
Just in case you just joined us for the live weigh-in here in Las Vegas, Cameron Smotherman is just over my shoulder about a moment or two ago as he weighed in. He weighed in at 135.5, so he's hit his 135, 136 limit. I can see that he is sat up and just taking in some fluids right now, but he hit the scales, and as he was walking off the stage, he seems to have fainted and passed out and hit his... It sounded like he hit his head relatively
there
hard.
Was a definite thud.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, with all due respect, the UFC are normally pretty switched on when it comes to the health and safety of these fighters.
Trust me.
I don't think that fight's going to go on.
No.
I don't want to speculate, but I think
there's a very good possibility.
They'll do full tests on him.
And backstage there, Mike, before you come out, when you're waiting to come out and get on the scales, do you have a medical check there? Or is it after you get off the scales when they have a little look at you?
Well, things have changed since I was competing because remember, there was no early morning weigh-ins. In fact, the first ever early morning weigh-in was when I fought Rockhold at UFC 199. Prior to that, the weigh-ins were always on at the ceremonial weigh-ins.
They were live, yeah.
At the ceremonial weigh-ins at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, you had your whole medical exam. You know, they would make you do squats, touch your toes, do a few tests. They would check your eyes and your ears, and checking my eyes was always an issue. But but I'm not so to answer your question, I'm not sure how they do it now. But generally back there, yeah, they're checking your weight, they're taking a look at you, they're making sure you're fine. And of course, all you're thinking about there, because listen,
he's not right. He's not right.
God, it's such a shame.
This is real bad.
Yeah,
that's it. There's no way that fight's going to carry on.
No.
Just over my shoulder right now, Cameron Smotherman is being now carried.
He will be taken
team.
straight to the hospital.
100%.
He will be given an IV, which is what we used to do back in the day as well. We used to have IVs. I'd have people come to my room immediately after the weigh-in. They would put an IV for the fluids. You'd take a little nap. You'd wake up an hour later and you'd feel fantastic. Yeah. You'd feel back to normal. Then they banned the use of IVs because that can mask, apparently it came out, it can mask performance-enhancing drugs because you're flushing your system too quickly. I don't know the science of it, so they stopped it, and that was very annoying because then we had to go back to just sipping water. Yeah. But that's what he's going to do because the fight, I doubt, will go ahead. He'll go to the hospital, they'll give him IVs, and he'll be fine. He'll be fine, but this fight won't go ahead.
Just to be clear, Mike was talking there about the weigh-ins being moved to the mornings around the Rockhold fight, and since then that's always been the case. The reason they've been moved to Friday morning rather than some ceremonials was to give fighters an extra 10, 8, 12 hours to refuel, to rehydrate, to make it safer. So, listen, obviously he's pushed himself beyond the line, unfortunately. Just over here, hearing his coach there saying that he'd spoken to his coach, and his coach said he felt fine, but he is still receiving medical treatment, unfortunately. If you're now, we can see from the other side of the stage.
And here's the stretcher coming in right now.
You got Modestas Bukauskas, looks like he's next on the schedule. A line of fighters all waiting to get on the scales now as well.
Yeah,
what are they thinking? What's going through their minds?
Well, it's not bothering them, but it's annoying them. Because the moment you get on the scale, the first thing you do is you grab that drink and you start rehydrating. And let me tell you, it's the best feeling ever, right? You know, if you imagine, you know, the frostiest pint on the most glorious of days, you're sitting at a country pub, there's a rainbow in the sky, there's lambs galloping through the field, right? That sip of water is 10 times better than that, you know, which is hard to believe. But here's Modestas. Hopefully, no theatrics here.
Yeah, just a little bit of an update for people that are tuning in. If you've just joined us on our stream of this live weigh-in, I'll just shut up so we can get Modestas' weight. Again, coming in a pound under championship weight there.
Generally what happens is when people come in a little bit under, is that they cut weight. So I had this with my son because he wrestles. There's a weight cutting culture in wrestling as well, which is where it comes from in the UFC. You get close to the weight and then you kind of drift as it goes on. So these guys are being extra cautious. They're getting down to the weight, and then there is a waiting period before you get on the scale.
Your body keeps going.
And it, it drifts a little bit more, and often a pound is not surprising.
Championship weight there as well. Everyone's either very tight or under it. Is there a potential, Mike, as well? The ceremonial scales might be a little bit light compared to the backstage scales.
Often there can be. Digital scales, and sometimes depending on whether it's been calibrated properly, maybe the surface isn't even enough and it's slightly off, and they're like, that's the one they got to go on. Then they get on the calibrated scale on stage, and it could be a little lighter. Sometimes there is a little discrepancy, but in this occasion, it's for the best, if you ask me.
Of course.
But not if you ask Cameron and some other men.
No.
For those just joining us, we can tell you that Paddy Pimblett did come through. He was the first through on the scales this morning, hitting 154 ahead of his interim title fight with Justin Gaethje. We haven't seen Justin yet because we've had quite a big delay, a good 10-15 minutes delay. And we've got a champion on our way right now in Rose Namajunas, it looks like. We had about a 10-15 minute delay with Cameron Smotherman, who fainted, passed out as he weighed in. He hit 135.5. He's still currently just at the side of where we're talking now, being attended to by the medical officials. The stretcher's just come in. We believe that he's going to be going off now to hospital and hopefully starting his rehydration period, which he desperately needs, no doubt about that. We'll keep you up to date with the situation with that particular fight. But yeah, you want to talk Doug Rose, opportunity for her.
Yeah, it's a big opportunity to remind the world she's a former champion, she's one of the best, she's a future Hall of Famer, she made weight no problem. She's a professional through and through, so there's never any issues with Rose. We didn't hear too many theatrics at the weigh-ins because she's just not that type of girl.
No.
She does all the talking inside the octagon.
But she did say that Natalia being a striker suits her.
It does.
It's training and being ready for Natalia has taken Rose back to her old taekwondo roots, she said. So that means she's enjoyed the fight camp. She's enjoyed what she's been doing.
It's such a drag as a striker, spending your entire fight camp preparing for wrestlers. Then, of course, there's the mental effect where you don't want to let go with your strikes because as soon as I throw a punch or a kick, they're going to shoot and all that type of stuff. Natalia Silva ain't going to be shooting, so it's going to be a good old-fashioned fight on the feet. Should be a fun one. Good to see Michael Johnson back on good form. He's been around forever. Obviously, Justin Gaethje made his debut against him, and that was an amazing fight as well. The hand speed and the power still there for Michael Johnson.
What's going through Ricky Turcios's mind now, Mike? He's about to weigh in. He's obviously just seen his opponent, his matchup, Cameron Smotherman, collapse, and he can see actually Smotherman still at the side of the getting looked at. So, what's going through it? All he can do is make weight and see what the decision is.
Yeah, he's got to make weight, and if I might be mistaken here, but because contractually he has made weight, he's upheld his part of the obligation of the contractual agreement. So
from a payment point of view,
from a payment point of view, but. I don't think you got to be a doctor to realise that when you see your opponent still sitting on the floor with an army of medical professionals and a stretcher there, you're probably thinking this fight ain't going to happen.
Oh, that's good to see.
Giving him a sign of respect, shaking hands.
Just a beautiful moment between two fighters there where Turcios came off, went over to Smotherman just to see him, and both men just shook hands. As Smotherman's now just on the stretcher. He'll be leaving the arena in a moment or two.
He was back on his own feet there, and he reached out.
He's doing better.
To
He's
touch
actually
hands,
his hand in his face. He's like, I don't believe this.
Now
because all it takes is a slight trip.
Of course.
Maybe it's not as bad as what it looked.
What it looked, yeah. Fingers crossed it's not.
He stumbled.
Arnold looks incredible. First time you've seen Arnold Allen in 18 months.
Arnold Allen, let's go. Come on, Allen.
Insane.
Let's talk about that because he's been out for a long time. No fight at all last year. It's 18 months since we've seen him in the octagon. He's lost a little bit of ground. This weekend for Arnold Allen's about reminding the world what he's all about, isn't it?
It's a massive opportunity because John Silver, someone that's coming, or Lord Silver, as he insists on being called, has come in and kind of taken the sport by storm, put on electrifying performances, been knocking out a lot of people, submitting people, beat Kevin Vachejos in his contender fight, which is not an easy thing to do. So he's right there. And he's also the reason that Diego Lopez is getting a title shot next week, because we're back with a numbered event next week, is because he knocked out Jean Silva. That's how high the stock is. So if Arnold can get a win over someone like Jean Silva, anyone that has forgotten about him, any new people to the sport, and certainly people watching and tuning in on this new deal in America, they're going to be like, whoa, who's this English kid? Because he just beat Jean Silva. And if he beats him, as you say, he's right back in the conversation, which he should be.
Yes.
Even with British fight fans, though, because let's be honest, over the last 18 months, a certain Lerone Murphy has come through, broke through in this weight division, and is now absolutely a contender right there, one win away. And everyone's kind of forgotten about Arnold Allen because Lerone's managed to skip right past him while Arnold's been inactive. But great to see him back on the scales. Like, he looked in phenomenal shape there. If we can get 2, maybe even 3 fights out of Arnold this year, then by the end of the year he's going to be right in the conversation again.
Yeah, and he's partly been forgotten because UK MMA has been booming so much. Obviously, Tom becoming the champion. Leon Edwards, of course, was the champion. Lerone, as you're saying, there's a bunch of others. Loney Kavanagh coming through. Paddy stealing all the attention. Speaking of attention,
here he is.
Here he is, the Sugar Show. I was looking at some of the comments on the UFC press conference yesterday, and a lot of people were saying that Sean looked a little embarrassed and things like that, because typically he is the show, he is the main event, and a lot of the questions are directed to him, but he's just happy to be back. I think he's got a good matchup, and all he's focusing on is beating Song Yadong, which isn't an easy thing to do, and here he is walking out to the scale right now.
He's been on a journey there, Sean, hasn't he, mentally as well, over the 2 defeats with Merab. Obviously he's lost his title to Merab. Second time around, he seemed to reinvent himself, maybe overthink it a little bit. This week I saw him sit down with you. What was the vibe that you were getting off him? Because it felt like the Sugar energy was back.
Yeah, listen, the dyed hair, the visuals look like he's back to his old ways, but I think he's a bit like, listen, just get me back in there. The fact that it's a 3-round and not a championship fight for the first time in forever with Sean, because he's been in so many 5-round fights, back down to 3 rounds. He's facing a striker in Song as well, which should suit Sean's style, but he also knows that Song Yadong can change his life with a win over Sean O'Malley, so he's got to be switched on. It's certainly not a gimme fight. I think Sean is going to answer a lot of questions in his own mind inside that octagon on Saturday. I think he really will.
Because it's a pivotal moment. He became the champion. He came up kind of like Paddy did with a lot of the fans en masse, that kind of criticising some of the matchups, becomes the champion, defends the belt, becomes a huge star, loses to Merab, then gets finished to Merab. And then if he loses to Song Yadong, people will, because this is how they are, they'll be like, oh, he was a flash in the pan, he was never that good. So this is like a high-pressure situation, even more so than when he was coming up and fighting for the belt. This is about proving that he actually belongs, that all the accolades that he's achieved so far, he actually deserved them. This is about shutting up all the critics.
And as well as that, the ramifications on the fight are gigantic, because he has a narrative with the current champion in Petty Yan.
Yeah, absolutely.
He
has a win.
Yan will want that one back, won't he?
He does want that one back.
So therefore he could be the prime guy. If he comes through Song Yadong, he could be the guy.
If he beats Song Yadong, and unless Umar Nurmagomedov goes out there and does something spectacular, in fact, even with something spectacular, I don't see how Sean O'Malley is not the next guy if he wins a fight. Of course, Merab is out there. I said to Merab, you need to take some time off. You need a break, man, but he's
Merab.
He's a Georgian maniac that probably won't take a break.
It's been an undertone of everything, really, since the start of the year, and it continues to be an undertone this week. The White House card is going to be gigantic, and what they need for that are big American stars that can carry that Star-Spangled Banner into that octagon outside the Oval Office, and Sean O'Malley with a win on Saturday night is absolutely surefire guaranteed to make it.
Yeah, the Cold War on the White House playing out in the octagon.
USA versus Russia, come on.
Hey, you've just renamed it the Fight House. I like that.
Did I say that?
You said the Fight House there.
I said the Fight House?
That's really good branding, man.
You know what I mean? Just subliminally, whatever that word is, subliminally dropping bombs. You know, it's just,
the Fight House, mega.
At the Fight House. Ooh, I'm going to use that.
For those that are just joining us live here in Las Vegas for the weigh-in, the official weigh-ins this morning here in the T-Mobile Arena. The reason why we switched venues is obviously there's a lot going on in Las Vegas this week, and they'll be back here later on for the full ceremonial showdown. We can tell you that Paddy Pimblett came in at 154 pounds. He was the first on the scales. We had a little bit of a break, about 10-15 minutes worth of a break, because Cameron Smotherman passed out as he weighed in, and therefore there was medical assistance for him. But we're back in the rhythm of it now. We can tell you that Cameron's just gone off out of our shot here to the hospital, and he'll be well taken care of, and we'll get you some information across the socials throughout the course of the day today regarding his fight with Ricky Turcios and whether that stays on the card or not. Highly unlikely given what we saw, but we'll get you some more information on that a little bit later on.
We never know.
You never know.
May have tripped up. I just heard the ball, I didn't see it. Yeah.
They check all his vital signs, you know, and they were like, you know what, we've all tripped up.
Yeah.
Here and there, and it's just very, very unfortunate that he did it. I'm saying that though, he was face down.
He was.
It's not like he tripped and then caught himself and got back up and went, "Oh, I'm fine."
Yeah.
He fell and was face down, and then got carried off the stage. And heaven forbid he was to go on and fight.
Yeah.
And then something was to happen.
Yeah, it's a big
Then,
risk.
of course, people would say, well, you should never have been in there in the first place. And it's a fight that's on the early prelims, I believe, right? Early prelims. It's not a make or break fight for the evening. It's probably wise to scrap that.
Coming up onto the scales now, former
doesn't
champion.
look great here.
He does not look good at all.
Bit of minus as the former flyweight champion, now competing up at bantamweight, but he looks incredibly uncomfortable.
He's never had an easy time making weight at 25 or 35. 138. So that's a miss. So that's a miss.
He's missed it.
Now,
and he doesn't look well.
Now, don't quote me on this.
He doesn't look well.
It's just an assumption. But if you know you're walking out 2.5 pounds over, maybe you give it a bit of that to sell. I tried my best.
Yeah, okay, I've got you.
You know what I'm saying? Because if I walked out,
all fresh-faced, you'd be like,
there is a shame. There is a shame and an indignity to missing weight. You're embarrassed. You've let the promotion down. You've let your fans down. Your country. You name it. I could go on all day.
Yeah.
So you're not going to walk out. Well, he's walking down with his hanging his head in shame.
Yeah.
Which he should.
He should do, yeah.
Absolutely.
Sadly, I'm a fan of Davison, but like.
Let's bring our first guest of the show in, Tim Welch here.
Tim Welch,
man,
how are you, sir?
Who looks after Mr. Sugar Sean O'Malley. We've just been speaking about Sean, and the vibe that I'm getting this week is that the Sugar Show is back in town because we've seen the hair dyed, we've seen the attitude, we've seen the energy that we've got. Maybe there was a little bit of, in his own mind, trying to reinvent himself for the second Merab fight, but it feels like the old Sean's back. You've been around him, you've been working with him. Is that the case? Is the old Sean back?
Yeah, the old Sean's back. He's in a good place in life right now. We had a great training camp. His legs, his heart, his mind, his body's in great shape, and we're prepared for a 15-minute war. We know this is going to be a dogfight, and we're going to have to pull out the same dog we pulled out when we fought Peter Yan.
I don't doubt that for a second, because I know Sean, I've watched his career the whole time. I know he's going to be ready and prepared and all the rest of it. But mentally, does he feel a lot of pressure? Because obviously he had an incredible rise. He became the champion, loses 2 in a row to Merab. Does he feel that he's really got to come out and perform? Because if he was to lose, it would be 3 in a row. And you know how the fan base is. You know how toxic they can be at times. Does he feel an extra bit of pressure because of that?
I mean, you're dealing with a different dog. When you're dealing with an undefeated guy, a guy that's champion, they got a different level of confidence, but we really got that confidence back in this training camp. I don't think so. I don't think so. He's excited. He knows he's got a good explosive striker, and when Peter Yan won the title, that really reinvigorated him. So we're ready to go.
Yeah, has it been refreshing as well, Tim, to take him back to preparing for 15 minutes rather than 25-minute title fights? Because he's been in them for so long. Has that kind of given him a bit of fresh energy as well? And it's always nice to not spend the entire camp looking at Merab's wrestling and thinking,
and then also this week, Paddy, you know, he was doing 100 interviews a day. You're just having that, those distractions eliminated. Has that been kind of refreshing for him?
Yeah, it's been 4 years since we've prepared for a 15-minute fight. And you know how different it is preparing for 15 minutes and 25 minutes. But still, he's still one of the biggest stars in the sport, so he's still doing interviews all week.
Yeah, no, you're right. He is without a doubt one of the biggest stars for sure. Obviously, the
striker though, that's got to suit Sean. That's got, you know, he's not looking at Merab. He's not looking at constant tape. He's not constantly in the gym picking himself up off the floor, all that stuff. To face Yadong, who I think will probably try and shoot on Sean, but a natural striker. It feels like the table's set to see vintage Sean O'Malley again.
Yeah, I mean, we know Song Yadong is going to try to wrestle us. We know he's going to try to grapple us. But if he really wants a title shot and a shot at the title shot, he'll try to knock us out. So we're prepared for everything. We're prepared for him to grapple. Again, we're prepared for a 15-minute war.
And then given a win here, we were just saying, we were speculating that if Sean was to win, given the star power that he does have, we kind of expect that he will be next in line for a title shot. Is that the mindset from you guys? Have you heard anything from the UFC, or is it far too early for those conversations?
Yeah, I think it's far too early, and it's dangerous looking past Song Yadong. The past three people he's fought were champions, and they're very, very close fights. So we're trying not to look past Song Yadong, but it did reinvigorate him, got him fired up when Peter Yan won that belt.
He's always dead relaxed. What's he like now between this moment and fight night? And what are the processes? Every fight is different. Is it chill, kick back, play some computer games?
I mean, there's a lot of mind games that are going on at this point, but he's one of the most ice-cold people I've ever been around, so he's calm as it can be before these fights.
Good man. Listen, we'll let you get on. Enjoy the rest of your day, sir. Thank you very much for your time. Looking forward to the show tomorrow.
Thanks, fellas.
All the best, Tim.
Top man, Tim. There you go, Tim Welch there. The man in the corner of Sugar Sean O'Malley. And the vibe that we've been getting throughout the course of the week is that he is back. And we're looking forward to him doing his thing at UFC 324 live on TNT Sports Box Office. Your best mates. Your best mates up on scales now. Go on then. Give us the lowdown on the Tiba.
Look at this fella.
Oh,
wow.
No,
I used
he's
to
a
look like
monster,
that.
man. He is a monster.
Well, he has come into the UFC and he's captured everybody's imagination, hasn't he? You've got 3 first-round finishes. He just touches people and they are going over. And his demeanour this week, Nick, when you sat down with him, he's very calm, very cool, very calculated guy, very chill, very grateful for being here.
Yeah.
But there is a sinister vibe just behind his eyes, isn't there?
Absolutely. Oh, he's a finisher. He's a predator. Whether he knows it or not. And I think there's an element of that fact that he doesn't know it. You know, he's quite a humble guy. You know, as Lerone Murphy's his idol, his gym mate, and he's kind of like, I don't know where this journey's going to go. I'm talking about being can you be a champion in this division? He's kind of like, I'm just enjoying myself. I'm making a living, fighting for a living. It's great. And I think that kind of gives him a different type of calm and cool composure.
I'll tell you who else is cool and calm.
Hey, stole my line.
Got you. Here he is.
Modestas, what's up, buddy? How you doing?
Modestas Bukauskas. Listen, we spoke in the week, mate, about your journey to this particular point. And it has been a mad ride. But you're here now. It's Las Vegas. It's the first numbered card of the year. And you've got yourself a hell of a fight to go and showcase them talents.
Oh, 100%. It's something I've been dreaming about. I've always been dreaming about fighting at the T-Mobile Arena, and lo and behold, here it's happening. So, yeah, I've been obviously training very hard, you know, putting in all the groundwork, making sure I'm getting the most out of myself in my training camp, and now I'm about to get the most out of myself out here in the cage.
Do you think that's where Nikita Krylov holds most of the challenges? If he can get you down to the ground, that's going to be the most problematic area?
I think it's just his very sort of chaotic style. Like, do you know what I mean? He lunges in and throws like loads of crazy punches, puts on a very high pace. I think that's probably going to be the most difficult thing. To be honest, if it comes to wrestling, when it comes to the ground, I feel like I'll be able to handle myself. I know exactly what I need to do, and I'll be able to enforce my will and my pressure onto him.
Can I ask you, we were all taken aback there when Cameron Smotherman stepped off the scales. He collapsed and needed a lot of medical attention, a good 15-20 minute delay. You were on the steps, you were next up on the scales. What was going through your mind when that happened?
It's just scary, just, you know, seeing that happen to you know, like a fellow fighter, and, you know, because I was kind of like just watching around, just like kind of enjoying the stadium. And then next thing you know, I just hear a loud banging, and then you just see him like on the floor. So yeah, it's absolutely upsetting. I hope he recovers fully, and, you know, I just hope he's all right, because, yeah, obviously we go through a lot when we do our weight cuts, but I could see even in the back like he was really struggling. So. Yeah, I just hope that he recovers quickly.
And they're checking your weight backstage before you step out on the stage. Are they doing medical checks then as well?
No, they do it after.
They do it after. That's what I thought, like they used to do. I'm a bit old now. You know? But yeah, that's what I thought.
No, words that I think we all adhere to as well with what Modestas just said. On your journey, mate, right? Come on, because you are the epitome of a fighter that first time around it didn't go as you would probably wanted it to go. Yeah. But the mental fortitude that you've shown to get yourself back, what have you learned about yourself on that mad little ride to this particular point?
I just always, well, especially my dad, he always believes in me, but like, I've always had the skill set to be at this level. It's just a case of just bringing it out there and actually putting it out onto the cage for everyone to see. You know what I mean? I always knew that I had the skill set. I always knew I had the talent and what it takes to compete at this level. It was just a case of just like fully unlocking it within myself. And you know, maybe it had something to do with confidence, maybe a bit of mindset. You know, training partners, training with like, you know, bigger guys and stuff like this. But like I say, even when I got cut, even when I had a really serious injury, I always knew I was going to get back. Like I always had that vision in my head, and it's mad. I would always envision actually walking out to T-Mobile Arena. One guy in my corner was like my high school basketball coach, because one of my other coaches couldn't come, so now he's in my corner. But I had actually envisioned that in my head like 3 years ago.
Wow.
So it's mad, like a lot of things that I've just been picturing in my head, even like my comeback and my return and stuff like that, like it's all now coming to fruition. So like I say, I'll just keep these visions going and just keep making my dreams come true, you know?
And if you get a win here, that'll be 5 in a row. Nikita Krylov is a highly respected guy in the division, so you'll slowly be becoming a star, rankings, all the rest of it. But of course, you've been a star before. I saw a clip. Take me
I knew that was coming up at some point.
Honestly, I was laying in bed in my hotel room just scrolling Twitter, doom scrolling. I'm like, hold on a minute. I had no idea. You kept that one quiet.
Yeah, there's a good reason for that. If you saw my dance moves on there, mate.
I did see your dance moves. I saw you coming out doing the kicks. Now, I used to watch that when I lived in England back in the day, so I'm gutted I missed that. But I always wondered, like, you know, what happens afterwards? You know what I mean? Did you go out with the girl? Did you, like, you guys, like, connect?
I mean, we all hung out. We all got, we pretty much had a night out in Tenerife, got wasted, and then
there you go.
They shipped us back the next day. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah,
We'll leave that one there.
We'll leave that story at that point.
Exactly. We'll continue that off camera. Come Sunday morning, all goes well Saturday, got yourself a rank, and UK MMA is absolutely flying at the moment. 2026, you're now in the conversation in your weight division. What does the rest of 2026 look like for you?
Just getting towards the top 10. Like, do you know what I mean? Like every fight, I want to just keep moving myself up. I'm going to be working towards the top 5 realistically. Do you know what I mean? Top 10, top 5 by the end of this year, and then look to be pushing towards that belt by the year after. So yeah, we've got to get past Nikita Krylov. Obviously, he's a very dangerous opponent, but I feel like I have the skill sets to get the job done. And yeah, we'll just go from there, man.
There you go. No likey, no lighty. We'll let you get on, pal.
Yeah, I had that one in there, didn't he?
We'll let you get on with the rest of your day. Top man.
One, all the best.
I've got the accent
for it.
I've got the accent for it.
Nice one.
Top man, Modestas. Looking forward to seeing you doing your thing. And as one fantastic British fighter leaves us, we've got another one joining us right now, because this is who the card has been built around. Here he is.
Here he is.
The baddie himself.
Going on, Paddy.
How are we?
Morning, nice.
How are you, mate? Good?
Yeah, I'm great.
Singing in the bath this morning?
Yeah, it was nice.
You seem very sprightly considering you just did a big weight cut.
Yeah, it wasn't even that big. You know what I mean? It was sound. I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Nice.
154? Was that always the plan, or do you think the scale's a little bit light? Or?
Yeah, but I was 154.4 in the back, so I was around that. So I could have had a little drink, but I was just sipping it. Yeah, 154, easy work.
Obviously, you and Justin have been relatively respectful to one another leading up to this fight. Obviously, you both think you're going to win. Nothing wrong with that. At the press conference yesterday, seemed like it was getting a little bit more personal.
Yeah, he got a bit agitated, didn't he?
Yeah.
I think I'm in his head.
I tell you what, he was certainly rattled when you stood up to him, and he was like looking at your shoes. And
yeah,
have you got taller?
They weren't. I just saw that everyone was going on about my posture the other day, lad.
Like a question mark.
No, everyone was saying about look like the aliens off Men in Black, lad. So I thought, no, I'll stand up straight, I'll give the shoulders, and then he realised how much bigger I was. It's going to be funny today when we get up there with no top. I just swore, haven't I?
Yes,
I know.
Apologies.
I shouldn't have laughed.
Sorry.
That first bit of... Was that by design? No, when you pose for the pictures?
No, I'm always on my phone.
Oh, right, okay,
I'm
so you're
always
used
like
to
that, you know what I mean? So that's my fault. But I sorted my posture out, so...
You're a big team, man, and there's a big gang of you from Next Gen out here, of course. How important is that for you now, from this point to actual walking to the cage, being around your guys, being around your team, feeling that energy and getting yourself in the right mindset for tomorrow night?
I'll just be chilling with me wife, me sisters here, me nephews, me dad, me uncle and all my team. Half the Next Gen's here, all my mates are here. the ones who aren't still up on the aisle, I'll get them to come round and see me.
They'll come round about 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
Well, some of my mates will stay out till Monday, lad.
Hey, I know it well.
Yeah.
Tonight, whenever I weighed in, it was always an Italian meal. What is the go-to for you?
Asian.
Asian?
Rice, because there's too much fat and creamy and cheese in Italian.
You got to watch the MSG though.
It bloats me, so I have
keep you up at night and get the heartbeat going.
Fried rice and meat, you know what I mean, and noodles and stuff.
Nice.
I've got Paul Reed, lad. Paul Reed does all my stuff. He's the main man. He does so many UFC fights.
To be honest, you've got to do what makes you happy as well.
Of course.
If that's what you like.
I've went off past experience. We actually had an Italian booked, but the last time we had an Italian before a fight was Tony Ferguson, and I felt bloated in the cage, bit sluggish.
Yeah.
Felt like it took it out of me a bit, and last time
I used to just.
I ate so many calories. Yeah,
mate,
I ate
mental.
I ate so much the night before when I fought last time because it was all noodles and rice, and I felt good the next day. I think we added it up last time. I ate like 11,500 calories on the Friday.
Oof.
That's
a lot.
I'm gonna go for similar today.
Yeah.
Wow.
The most important question, though, mate, is when do the cornrows go in?
Ellie's doing the hair.
Yeah, come on, lad.
Whoever's coming the hotel tomorrow to sort it, lad. Whatever. Normally a lady comes round and puts it in. So my hair's nice and long this time. It's the longest it's been. I haven't had a cut since like August.
Full it. I like it.
It'll be ready. It'll be long.
So 48 hours from now, in an ideal world, you're waking up in bed with a UFC belt in the room, on the bed next to you. I don't know where it's going to be.
No, it'll be on the side. My bed will be next to me.
Yeah. What's that going to feel like?
It's going to be nice.
Yeah.
It's going to be nice, lad. I can't wait, and it's going to happen. And there's no two ways about it. I am taking that belt home, and it's coming with me. It's not. Justin is not breaking. No, he's not being no two-time incident champion. It's not happening.
Nick's ordered a...
Where is he? Know what I mean?
Yeah, he hasn't come through yet.
That's the point.
Fat ass.
Nick's ordered an open-top bus, haven't you? For
I'm ready to go, yeah, exactly. I'll be waiting just by the IKEA off the M62.
Well, lad, Liverpool play Wednesday night.
I'll be there.
On TNT.
Carabang.
So the best invite me.
Yeah.
I think that's given.
Yeah,
that's a done deal.
Best dad, lad. I can touch that Anfield grass while I've got the title over my shoulder.
Mike was saying earlier on that, looking back on his career, moments like this, when he was the main event, when title fights, all that kind of stuff, when he looks back now, he thinks, I wish he had enjoyed it more. I feel like you're enjoying it.
Yeah, I'm proper enjoying it. This is sick. I'm going to take over this gaff in 36 hours, lad. Everyone's going to be singing, oh, Paddy the Baddy, when I walk out. I think that's what got under Justin's skin yesterday as well. He's thinking, I'm American. It's on my main event in Vegas. Why are everyone supporting him? Because everyone was cheering for me and singing my name. And when, like, O'Malley was having a back and forth with Song Yudong, everyone was shouting USA, and he's sitting there thinking, why aren't he doing this when I'm having a back and forth with Paddy?
Yeah.
And I think that's in his head already. He's thinking, I'm normally the fan favourite, but this time you're not, son.
And then stylistically, just to talk about the matchup for a second, what is the key to victory for you?
Keeping me distance, keeping me range, and then when he starts to cause chaos, either catching him with a shot and knocking him out, or getting the takedown in a scramble and choking him out.
He said that you're not Khabib this week.
I know I'm not, and Khabib's not me.
Yeah.
Simple as that. I'm not unlike Khabib. I know I'm not. Apart from when I'm on top of you, I smother you. That's the only thing I'm like him. And if I get on top of Justin Gaethje, lad, it's going to be over within 2 minutes.
I like it.
I couldn't get over how long his neck was. I'll be honest.
Oh, I know. Long necks.
Long
That's
neck,
an issue.
Lad. His neck was long, lad. His neck was about as big as my head.
On that note, we'll let you get on with the rest of your day, pal. Go and spend some time with your loved ones.
Sorry for swearing, TNT. I didn't mean that.
See, he's done the apology as well. He's a pro. Thank you very much, mate. Enjoy the rest of your day. We're looking forward to the show.
Go and have some pancakes.
All the best,
Top
mate.
man. There you go. Paddy Pimblett ready for action. One half of that main event, of course, coming to you on TNT Sports box office. 2 a.m. is when that main card gets going, and the prelims from midnight. A little bit of an update for you, because as Paddy kind of highlighted there, we haven't had Justin Gaethje through yet, and Waldo Cortes-Acosta is the only other fighter on the main card that we haven't seen.
Arnold.
But we have seen this lad for the
How
first time in 18 months. swear, right?
Swearing again.
Paddy's dropped one on us. He's dropped one on us. These
I
British
might have
lads.
dropped one earlier
Yeah,
as well.
come
I had
on.
one as well, so
Come on.
my bad.
Apologies for the bad language.
That's it, yeah.
But here we go. Yeah, we're live.
18 months we waited to see you. We finally got you on the scales. You looked absolutely phenomenal.
Shredded.
You looked amazing.
Big old shoulders on me.
But it's catch-up time now, mate.
Twice. He's dropped 2 bombs on.
They're laughing. But people back there are having a heart attack.
Yes,
right now. They're
exactly.
Like, what is he doing?
This is as Nick's just alluded to there. There's a point to prove this weekend, isn't there?
Yeah,
and that's the energy that you've been giving off this week.
Oh, man, I'm so excited to be back. Having this time out is this time out. I don't want any time out. I'm angry and coming back with a point to prove. I always have a point to prove, but now there's more of a point to prove.
Given the fact that you say you're angry as well, and I fully understand that, and probably a more accurate word is frustrated.
Yeah.
Has he been annoying you a little bit?
Nah.
Because yesterday at the press conference, you looked like you were ready to just get out your seat and go crack him.
No, not. He's been lovely. He's actually been very pleasant.
Right.
Him, his wife, they come and give me a hug. Beautiful people. Yeah,
What about the shout that he made that it's going to be 2 autistic guys going at it?
I take it. I'm not officially diagnosed, but I can't deny it, can I? What can I do?
Can't deny it.
Yeah.
We're all a bit on the spectrum.
Yeah.
Oh, bullet.
That time away, though, there must have been, obviously, you're eager to get back in now. While you were watching, people like Lerone come into the conversation, people like Jean Silva, who last time you fought, I think he was like 2 fights in the UFC. He's had 4 in the last 18 months. So you must have been kicking your heels like, come on, just get me back in there quickly.
Yeah, man, the opportunity Lerone got offered, I got offered it first. Diego, the fight with John, I got offered it first. December, I was supposed to fight Yair. He had a surgery. I was ready to go. But yeah, because he tried to spin a narrative that I was turning down fights. They forced me to fight John. I was supposed to fight Yair, but he had surgery in December. So, yeah.
But this is the perfect matchup because Jean Silva, all right, he got knocked out last time against Lopez. We know that. But that's why Lopez is now fighting Volkanovski again.
Correct.
Because the stock in Jean Silva is so high.
The rankings don't matter, right?
The rankings don't matter. And given this new era that we're in now, and there is always new fans coming to the sport, if you have been, quote-unquote, forgotten about, this is the opportunity to come back, beat him, tell everyone, show everyone, hey, I'm still here. I'm still a contender. I'm still coming for the belt. Does that excite you?
Yeah, man. That's why I think I've been given the opportunity, right? 1, he's always a guy they're going to push because his name, he makes a lot of noise. 2, they believe I'm going to put an exciting fight, and that's what people want, and I always do, so it's going to be.
Listen, we are delighted that you're back. I can
Yes.
see the energy. I'm looking forward to it.
Thank you, mate.
Top man. We'll let you get on with the rest of your day. Arnold Allen
See you, boys.
giving all our production team a massive heart attack as he was going through that interview there. Apologies once again for the foul language that they heard. Hopefully no offence is caused. I'm sure you can appreciate. Listen, that's a fighter that's excited. He's been out for 18 months. He's absolutely pumped. He wants to get back in there and do his job. And fingers crossed, as British fight fans, I'm sure, are backing him. They want to see him do his job tomorrow night. Little bit of an update for you, as I was going to say before Arnold came in. We're still waiting for Justin Gaethje and Waldo Cortes-Acosta off the main card. Everybody else has come through. They've made weight, including the 2 gentlemen that you just seen in Paddy and Arnold.
What about in the prelims?
Well, we did see Davison Figueiredo miss weight. I'm told that fight is on. He'll forfeit 25% of his purse. He came in at 138.5. And Alex Perez also missed weight at 128.5. That fight is also on, and he will also forfeit 25%. We haven't got any information. In fact, we do have information. It's just come through on my screen. The Cameron Smotherman fight, where we saw Cameron, who was 3rd person on the scale, I think, this morning. He passed out, fainted immediately after weighing in. That fight is now off. We can confirm that fight is off. And that is, like I said, absolutely
it's
no
safety
surprise.
first.
Of course.
The safety of the fighters comes paramount above everything else. Disappointing the fans, people that are buying tickets. You can't have someone that's just collapsed, gone face plant first on the octagon, lie there for 3 minutes, get carried off the stage, and then let them compete in a combat sport the next day. It just can't happen.
Of course. This is interesting because this isn't normally like Justin Gaethje.
No.
He's normally one of the first people through.
Always.
And by my reckoning, he's the only person that we are waiting on.
You can't read too much
No,
into that.
not at all.
You can't. People have different strategies. Paddy obviously wanted to be first on because you can rehydrate more. But if you're first on, that means you started the process earlier. Justin, here's Waldo. That's a big old boy with a big roar in the background.
Yeah.
It scared me there. For Justin, it's like, well, maybe he just started his process later.
Yeah.
So he's in a dehydrated state from a later period.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or it's not going well.
Yeah. Fingers crossed it's not the latter.
Yeah.
Of course.
Because we want, like we just been talking about health and safety, haven't we?
He's a perennial, he's an absolute professional. You know, he's been making weight an awful long time.
He's not going to miss
from his wrestling days. It'll be absolutely fine. But you're right, I've been around a lot of Justin fights.
He's only
Matty
in
Usman
the first
fights,
2 or
they're
3,
usually
isn't
first on the scales, getting it done. So,
yeah.
But again, you know, maybe they got wind of the fact that Paddy was going to be first here and thought, you know what, let him do his thing, get out the way, and then we'll rock into town. We've got plenty of time.
And I think, technically, because it's an interim title fight, not a undisputed fight, it wouldn't affect Paddy anyway. I think if let's just say speculation, he's got to make weight. He's a professional, but even if he didn't, the fight will still go ahead, and Paddy would still be eligible for the interim title if he wins.
Yeah, same thing happened with Justin when he fought Charles Oliveira, actually.
Correct, exactly.
Oh, yes, good point. Yeah. Good knowledge. I like that, taking us back. But he is the only fighter that we are waiting on the official weigh-ins. So we will keep you posted on that. I just want to quickly talk about them heavyweights that have come through, because obviously we've got our own heavyweight in Tom. And if you're watching, my man, wishing you all the very best in your recovery. We're looking forward to seeing you back in the octagon sometime soon. Fingers crossed it is sometime soon. But that heavyweight fight, there's some big ramifications on that, because if Tom is out of action, let's say, for a period of time, you would think that the UFC would look at maybe going down the road of some type of interim title, or maybe an eliminator in some way, shape or form. You would think that Cyril's in that conversation. But that guy, Salsa Boy, he's in that conversation as well, because as you've just been alluding to with Arnold Allen, this is a game of profile sometimes. This is a game of height. This is a game of movement. He had multiple fights last year.
Five fights.
Successful in 4 of them.
Won 4. Knockouts. The only loss was a decision
to Pavlovich.
Sergei Pavlovich, in which a fight that was very, very competitive. He certainly had his moments. He showed that he can take the shots from someone like Sergei, who has knocked out Derek Lewis. You know, so that's something to factor into the equation. He's built a huge fan base. He's marketing himself as the Fighting Pirates now and stuff like that because of the eye poke. It's a gimmick, but it seems to be working. I see all the chat on social media. People are loving this guy. He's got a great personality. He's absolutely gigantic. He's put in the work in, because when he first came off the Contender Series, I didn't look at him as a contender. But he has improved so much, and he's shown stylistically he can make the adjustments. When he fought Robelis de España, a guy that's still knocking people out in like 7 seconds in other promotions and stuff like that, he turned into a wrestler. He took him down. It wasn't the most exciting thing, but he played it safe. So he does have that adaptability in his arsenal, and he's got the power in the hands. And Derek Lewis, of course, feels that in the first exchange, he's going to knock him out cold. Everyone loves Derek Lewis. He's one of the most fun fighters on the roster. He feels that regardless, he's going to be fighting on the White House, because he is Donald Trump's favourite fighter. Remember when he knocked out Talashin Teixeira, who also will be on 325 next week against Taito Avasa, knocked him out, gets on a phone with the president. So he's got a good chance of being on the White House.
But I'm pretty sure he will be. In terms of Waldo, though, it's 5 fights of the year. It's just insane. But back-to-back first-round knockouts. Late notice as well. At one point, he jumped on a flight out to the Middle East. The week of the fight,
it was a day's notice.
It
was a day's.
Literally landed, weighed in, fought the next day, knocked him out. It was
landed.
And when you're doing that, when you're back in the UFC, when you're answering the phone, when the UFC throw the bat signal up, we need a heavyweight, you fancy it? Yes, I do. What do you need me to do? Get on a plane right now, you're fighting tomorrow. When you're doing that, the UFC will reward you for that loyalty.
And when you're doing that and then knocking them out in the first round.
Correct. And it's creating a narrative. The whole stuff with Tom, okay, a lot of it's tongue-in-cheek, but it's a narrative that he's starting. And if he can beat Derek Lewis on Saturday night, you better believe he'll probably have another go at Tom again. Tell Tom to step aside or whatever he might say, but he is in the conversation.
Yeah, he does keep having a go at Tom, but I get it, right?
Tom's a champ.
The guy.
That's what he wants.
The champ. That's the guy that he wants. Mentioning the potential interim title, you got to think that Cyril Gane's in that equation, because he fought Tom for the undisputed belt. So if anyone's going to be there, I would think that he would have to make up one half of the
Yeah.
equation. Obviously, there's Alex Pereira out there. There's footage of him looking a little bit larger at the moment. Bit of a belly on him, bit of a gut, bit of... The man's enjoying himself, and rightly so. He's working hard. It could be Pereira, it could be Waldo, it could be Derek Lewis.
Yeah. Volkov's obviously in that conversation as well, but he's had multiple fights with Gan. Yeah,
exactly, that's the problem he's got.
What's the highlight on the prelims for you?
The highlight on the prelims for me, I mean, it's interesting with Umar and Davison, but he just missed weight. Krylov and Modestas is guaranteed to be a phenomenal banger. I'm telling you, I always love watching Michael Johnson fight him versus Alexander Hernandez. Hernandez is on a good streak right now. He's got bags of talent. He came into the UFC a little bit full of himself, but he's kind of learnt along the way and got a little bit humbled, but he's continually improved. And Michael Johnson has been on this roster forever, and he's winning fights again. And he's knocking people out. That knockout, I think it was Ottoman Zaitar, like second round, unbelievable knockout. So the power's still there. That'll be a good one as well.
And we've also got my mate,
Atiba
Gauthier, who, we touched on him a little bit earlier on. He's a very special athlete. He's obviously very naturally gifted. When I spoke to him, I asked if he's got his family's got a background in fighting. He said, "No, man, we just fight on the cobbles. We like to fight on the streets." He said, "I'm naturally heavy-handed. I've always known that." He said, "But when I was in Cameroon, I was just fighting for fun." He said, "That's why I moved to Manchester. That's why I've hooked up with Manchester top team, and now I'm actually being built into a real combat sports athlete."
Sculpted.
Yeah, and he's like, we're on the journey. And I'm like, mate, you've been in the UFC and you've knocked 3 people out in 3 first-round finishes. And you yourself are saying, I'm literally just starting this journey as a professional athlete. Where he's going to be in 2 or 3 years' time is absolutely frightening. And he's gigantic. So he's not just going to stay in this weight division. It could be multiple weight divisions for him.
It's hard not to look at him and make comparisons to Francis Ngannou.
Exactly.
Obviously, they both come from Cameroon. They've both got this earth-shattering power. He's knocking everyone out in the first round, and he's only getting better. He's only scratching the surface of his potential.
Looking forward to seeing him do his thing live tomorrow night at Tiba. And as you were talking now, just thinking about the middleweight division, there's obviously some fantastic fighters in that particular division. But I think he could move quite quickly because of the activity levels. If he could have maybe 3, even 4 this year, you could find yourself ranked between 10 and 15 by the end of the year.
Now, we do have to speak about the stylistic matchup, though. Andrei Puyaev, he's a Russian. He's been wrestling for a long time. He's got good kickboxing as well. But it's all going to come down to the takedown defense. Because it's all well and good having that power.
Yeah.
But if you get taken down, that's out of the window. He's got a great team, Manchester top team. They know what they're doing there, But it's still early days. And when you go up against these wrestlers, and you know for a fact, anyone's fighting a Taby, they're looking at him, they're seeing the power, and it's like, well, we ain't standing with him. We're going to double leg this guy. 1, 2, double leg, push him up against the fence, do whatever you can. They'll also have narratives in their mind that someone this explosive will get tired the longer the fight goes. So you might see him dance around and try and, avoid the fight, if you will, to drag it into the later rounds. But the takedown defense is going to be key.
Yeah, we've seen him before. We've seen Puyaev last year in London. He fought Christopher Leroy Duncan. Christopher Leroy Duncan was just too long, too talented for him. Atiba's a different type of fighter, as Mike says. A lot more raw aggression, a lot more raw power. But Puyaev is coming off a knockout of his own. He's only 1-1 himself in the UFC, but he's coming off a knockout, so maybe he's a little bit believing in his power. Maybe he's thinking, as Mike says, get him into 2 and 3 and then let my hands go, see what happens. But from what I've seen so far of Atiba, the best option is just to run, baby, because if he lands on your chin, you're going.
Back to the main card, Natalia Silva and Rose Namajunas going at it, and you would more than likely conclude that the winner of this is going to be fighting Valentina Shevchenko next.
Yeah, if your name's Natalia Silva. I don't know if...
Is there enough star power for Rose as former champion, maybe?
No, there is. Of course, it's Thug Rose. She's one of the biggest names in female mixed martial arts, but on Natalia Silva's side, she's won 7 in a row.
Yeah.
And then she just beat Alexa Grasso. And then if she beats Thug Rose, then it's without a shadow of a doubt, it's unquestionable. For Thug Rose, yeah, why not? But I'm just saying it's more of a guarantee on the side of Natalia Silva. Regarding the matchup, Natalia Silva's so impressive. I mean, the speed that she has in her feet, that was her signature finish, that spinning back kick. I think that was Teresa Blader as she was coming in a little too aggressive. But she fights well on the front foot, on the back foot. She made Alexa Grasso looked somewhat ordinary. Like when I watched it last night. I was laying in bed and I was watching it, refreshing myself. I don't know if Alexa Grasso had a bad night or if Natalia Silva is just that good. She picked her apart, she landed shots, she fought on the back foot, she fought on the front foot, the lateral movement side to side constantly. It was just a perfect performance.
Perfectly timed wrap up there as well, because it looks like we're getting Justin Gaethje on the scales now. There you go.
Here he is, strutting out. He's chatting away, he ain't gonna face plant.
He looks fired up, looks quite aggressive.
Oh, it's the best feeling.
There you go.
So obviously, given the big clap, and the big applause, means it was a little. It was right. Well, maybe not a push, but like he was right there, because I've done it myself. You go, I'm good. I'm like half a pound over, but by the time you get out your hotel room, you wear the plastics, the sauna suit, by the time you walk down there, that half a pound will have gone. You know what I mean? But it's not guaranteed until you get on the scale and say you're good, you know?
He's 37 now as well, Mike, and was it harder to cut weight? Did it stick to you a little bit more the older you got?
It didn't. It actually got easier because you refined the process. My last few weight cuts, they were relatively, I mean, they were easy.
Oh, right.
They were easy, yeah, but I just changed the way I do it. I discovered salt baths, you know, so it was easy, if I'm honest. But you get used to it when you first start and you're trying to dehydrate yourself 15 pounds or just under a stone for everyone in England or the UK. It's not easy, but you, as I say, you refine the process, you perfect it, you tweak it. If you know, and every time you go along, just like a training camp, you know, you harness the good, you block the bad.
Nice. We're going to get a little bit of insight actually to Atiba. We were talking about him 2 seconds ago. Carl Prince, the main man at Manchester Top Team.
Come on,
look at this.
What's up, Carl? How you doing, man?
Listen, he's going to be wanting one of these T-shirts. He's fallen in love with Atiba this week.
I guess I must have got the memo.
Oh, mate, that is amazing.
Love it. We've just been speaking.
I like that we're outnumbering the Scousers. I think it's going to be the only time this weekend.
It will be the only time this weekend, yeah.
We've just been speaking about Atiba, and obviously there's not a lot of UFC tape on him. He's only been in the octagon for a short period of time. He keeps putting people over.
Yeah.
And we've been talking about this matchup at the weekend where there could be challenges when it comes to his wrestling and his grappling and various things like that. How much are you enjoying working with him and developing the skills as well as honing that God-given power that he's got in his hands?
Well, yeah, imagine an athlete of his calibre walks into the gym. How much am I enjoying working with him? I think I'm just blessed that obviously he came across Manchester and now he's on the world stage. And I think this is a perfect test for him, like a good step up. Obviously, the Russian background, Shlemenko was his coach. He comes in high esteem, and we prepared well for it. And he's improving every single day and everything like that. And he's a well-rounded fighter. I know that he was in a small sample size, but he's only really been training for 4 years. And to get him where he's at already is just like growing every single day, and been like getting some good rounds in over here, got some good rounds in with Jack Massey with regards to his boxing, and like obviously bringing up his grappling in the background. So yeah, this will be like honestly a standout performance for him. He's been on fire this camp, and like even this week, like people have been coming, we've been like training in the PI and everyone just turns around. It's just different.
Talk to me about what he's like in the gym, because sometimes when people have that kind of natural raw power, I've seen it myself, they rely on it too much and they're not too bothered about, you know, rounding out the skill set. Is he just trying to soak up as much knowledge as possible? And more importantly, I'm talking about the takedown defense side of things.
Yeah, it's great insight, Mike, and I think the best and worst thing that happened was his first fight that he had for us actually lost. He like tried to bomb the guy out in the first round and like got a little bit fatigued as the fight went on and learned so much about that fight. He'd say it was his favourite fight he ever had. So we've already kind of been down that route and we got there early. So
yeah,
by virtue
that's a learning process.
Yeah, and obviously we had the likes of Andy Clamp and some of the best wrestlers from around our ways. He goes to Dubai and trains with a guy called Puya Rahami. We're blessed that we come here. I'm obviously pretty decent friends with Frank Mir, and he put us onto a wrestling coach. So we've got some great looks, and even in the 2 weeks he's been here and we've just been drilling and everything like that, the timing of his defence and everything like that, he just really had that little bit of spice, everything that was already. Again, we're not perfect. There's going to be moments where we're learning on the job, but I think for where he's at and for the level of competition and for Polaev, no disrespect, I think that we've got more than enough to defend every takedown and put some hands on him as normal.
Nice. When I spoke to Atiba this week, he doesn't know what his limit is. He doesn't know what his ceiling is. You know, he wouldn't. I was saying one day he become a UFC champion, all this kind of stuff, and he's like, you know, I'm only just become a professional athlete. I'm only just kind of being built into something. So I'll ask you as his coach, where is the ceiling? Where's the limitations with this guy?
The only ceiling he has is one that we could create for him. You know, I think he's a different caliber of athlete, and it's a different. Again, everyone can see what level of athlete he is, but he's super, super smart. Obviously, I'm blessed to work with Laurent Murphy, another smart individual. But he sees the game differently, and when you watch these two guys train, and also when they're analysing other people train and move, and I think that there's. And even just coming out to America, yeah, the level, you think, oh, we've got to go to America to see what the level's like. The level's the same, but the difference is the mentality. And like that's what I'm trying to breed into all my guys, but I'd never had to breed it into a team. He was always, he just saw things through a different lens and everything like that. So it makes my job easy, and anything that I can push onto him, he's like kind of already digested, and he like learns so quickly. So yeah, I'm blessed to work with this guy.
And in your mind, is this a guy that a year, 18 months, 2 years, he's going to have that strap around his waist?
Yeah, obviously Hamzat is a difficult puzzle to solve.
Oh, yeah.
Let's see how long he stays in the game.
Well, he's on about going up to 205 and stuff, so you never know.
We'll probably meet him there eventually, judging by how much I was sweating this morning. But I...
Sweating more than a Tabor.
Yeah, definitely. Well, us ginger pigs sweat a bit more, don't we? But I think like 18 to 24 months is a good target. A good target to be on the dance floor for that. We've got in our mind who, like, obviously we're not looking past Pelayo, but we have like a set schedule of who we would like to fight if we ever get to even broadcast that to people. So like this year we're ready to get into the rankings. Next year we're going to push towards that title shot. And by the way that he fights and everything like that, I don't really have to do much pushing. The kind of
it sells itself.
Yeah. Another trademark first round finish though. Is there a chance we could even see him in London in March?
I would love that, by the way.
Mate,
I would love that. I would love that. I believe it's pretty full, the card, but I'm sure they make room and everything like that. But it's always great to be out here in Vegas, one of our favourite places to go. So, of
course,
I've been looking at the schedule. There's a lot of Apex cards, and they don't seem to want to put them on there. So yeah, London, let's do it. Yeah.
I don't know if you're allowed to reveal it, but are you going to be busy that night in London? Have you got some lads on that card?
I don't know if I'm allowed to reveal it either, mate.
Well, you said it all.
I think I've got something in my eye.
Yeah.
In all seriousness, I mean, the gym's flying.
Yeah.
Laurent has kind of led that way a little bit, and a lot of people are now following him through. How important has that been, that breakthrough for Laurent, to get to the levels that he's at, to bring the rest of the lads through? Because everybody seems to be cooking right now at Manchester top team.
Mike will tell you, like back when he was at the Wolves, like, it just makes it credible to people. It just makes it possible to people. And Laurent is the tip of the spear. And like, if you want to see someone who's a consummate professional, who ticks all the boxes, who does everything that you need to do, you just point in his direction. I tell people what to do. He shows them, and the Tiba saw that early, so that was bred into them. And then we got like Alexi Louis Scott, who's now signed to the UFC, and I've sent maybe 5 guys to Mick Maynard, Sean Shelby, that are looking to get on contenders or even in earlier than before that. And obviously we've got some other guys doing some great things on other promotions. So yeah, Rolling Stone gathers moss, but like it's nice to have these conversations. It's nice to be here with you guys, but I just genuinely believe that we're just scratching the surface. We're just getting started, and we're not happy with anything we've achieved yet. We're here to change the game. We're here to put Manchester on the map. We're here to bring the UFC back to Manchester and have 2 guys at Manchester at the top of the card. So it's good. I'm happy that Liverpool are getting their shine, but we're coming.
but a lot of that's down to you, because I remember after Laurent fought, who was it? Not Danny, Josh Emmett.
Okay.
I was so impressed with your corner work, and I came out and I saw you afterwards, mate. You're doing fantastic things.
Yeah,
you truly deserve
these guys make it easy. I just, like I said, I look pretty, I guess. And
and on that note, we'll let you get on with the rest of your day.
Oh, thank you.
All right, my man. Thank you very much, Carl. Thanks for your time. Go well tomorrow night, mate. Top man.
All these intelligent Mancunians. Who knew?
We've got one of the big boys coming to join us now. Obviously, on this main card, we've got some heavyweights in action, and we've just been speaking about the opportunity for this gentleman, Waldo Cortes-Acosta. We do have a translator to come in as well to go with.
Oh, not this guy.
You good?
Good morning, sir.
Excellent. Waldo, we've just been speaking about the opportunity that lies in front of you this weekend. Last year was a good year, lots of activity, lots of knockouts on there. Do you see in beating Derek Lewis that there's an opportunity here that maybe you could be propelled in to a situation where you could be fighting for the title at some point this year?
Una oportunidad de tu vida que es muy grande lo que hiciste el año pasado, que si crees de lo que puede pasar ganando Derek Lewis un título para pelear un título mundial de UFC.
Yes, for sure, for sure. I know the win to Derek Lewis is, you know, it's been named. Everybody like him and everything. Can put me there and got a shot for the title shot one day or maybe this year.
You're very confident. He's very confident. I mean, he fully believes the first exchange. He puts you to sleep. Yesterday, just like a lot of the fights, it was getting a little bit not spicy, but you know, the intensity was going up. What do you think of his confidence?
It's good. It's good, but hand confident. But hand touch is something that me not like it, and all my life I retired the baseball for that situation. And talk about my mom yesterday.
Oh, did he really?
Yeah, I know.
Well, sorry, TNT Sports. We apologise.
I know, like the people talk like that to the other people, you know, and it's irrespectable for me a lot.
Yeah. Okay, so he disrespected you.
Yeah.
So it's personal for you now.
Yeah, it's personal for me now.
Okay.
2025 was an incredible year. You did something no heavyweights done before. 5 fights in a calendar year, back-to-back first-round knockouts. The last one, we were talking about it earlier, very late notice as well. You're the go-to guy now in the heavyweight division. What does 2026 look like compared to your 2025?
Yeah, 2025 is great year for me. But this year is be more great for me because this year I wanted fight for the title this year.
And where are you taking everybody to do the old salsa dancing off the back of the fight?
Where's the party?
After the victory, I wanted everybody like join to me or something like hang out, something, or be my B&B I rented. It's good space and everything. I want to teach in some dancing.
So a big party.
Big party.
Big party back at your own place. I hope I get an invite.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, for sure.
Come on.
Have an eye patch.
Yeah.
You've got yours.
It's in the room, but
You've got yours. Listen,
I've got a few.
Well, top man, thank you very much for your time. We'll let you get on with your day.
Love Waldo, thank you. Appreciate it.
I have it. All the best, man.
Top man, thank you, mate. One half of that heavyweight contest, and I could have gone a little bit touchy because the other half coming in right now. He was literally stood in the wings watching that. Let's bring him in. Derek Lewis,
Big D. How we doing?
How are you? You well?
Good.
Looking well.
Appreciate it.
What did you weigh in at? Because we were yabbering on here.
63.
63. Did you cope for that?
A little bit.
A little bit. Okay. Okay.
What's been the change, Derek? Because your shape has physically changed. What has been the...
I just mentally changed. You know, Hunter had lit a fire under my butt. And so ever since I heard what he said about me, I started really training hard. Trying to prove a point.
Waldo was just standing here. He said that this is personal now between you two. It's not just a business fight. He's got a point to prove.
Oh, I don't care. It's always personal to me. Every time I step inside the I don't flip the switch just to go cruise mode, not like that. I always go 100% anyways.
This heavyweight division's in a bit of flux at the moment with the champion out for the foreseeable. You know, we could even be talking about interim titles getting in the mix if he isn't returning anytime soon. This Waldo seems to be the form guy in the division. He's keeping nice and busy. He thinks he's potentially in the conversation, but you bankroll that conversation by knocking him out on Saturday night.
For sure. That's the game plan. That's the game plan to finish this guy, not to take the fight to the decision, not like that, to finish him like in the first round.
Obviously, you were talking about Hunter's lit a fire and you're a little more, I don't know, structured and you've come in as a better athlete, shall we say. But what about technically wise? Have you adjusted any things there?
For sure, the technical side of things, that has always been there, just that once I'm in there, I just turn into a completely different type of person. So all the technique that I learned go out the window.
So have you worked on like trying to mentally stay, not calmer, because you still need to be that guy, but you worked on just trying to maintain a better technical form?
Yeah, for sure. So I know that's one of the key points is being technical. Because if you go in there too wild, you're gonna get hurt.
Yeah, exactly.
What's the dream? What is the thing that is keeping you going in this game?
Oh, what's the thing that keeps me going is
You seen the size of his paychecks? Almost as big as him.
That, and also just, I like doing this. I love doing this. And if I can finish my career, I got 4 more fights after this one. And if that I want to resign me, I'll be happy with that. If they do, that's fine too. But I prefer to go out on a winning streak.
That knockout win streak as well, the most knockouts in UFC history. I guess you want to add to that, yeah? You want to make sure when you do walk away, nobody breaks it in the future.
For sure. I don't think nobody can, because it's pretty hard to do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I had a bunch of records at one point, and they've all been broken. I'm devastated. So, you got to add to that on Saturday night.
Yeah, that's the plan.
All the best, man. Enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you very much for your time.
Take care, buddy.
Derek Lewis in action at UFC 324 here in Las Vegas. You're free to go, sir. You good luck with the day. Taking on Waldo Cortes-Acosta, which should be an absolute firecracker. I hate saying guaranteed.
Don't do it.
I hate doing that. But listen, with the records, you've just been alluding to one of his records, 16 knockouts in the UFC. He's just said that he's got 4. He could get to 20 with the power that he possesses, and that's what he's going to be going for tomorrow. Like you said, we just spoke to Waldo there, and Waldo, who I've spoken to on several occasions, seems to be a very relaxed character. But feeling him there, he mentioned that this has now become personal. Yeah. You would expect quite a high-paced start from both of these guys. They're not going to struggle looking for each other. Yeah.
Well, Derek's never a type of guy that's looking to play the long game. When you're blessed with that kind of power, there's no point going to the longer rounds. Go in and get it done, and that's what he tries to. I think, in terms of, he said it's personal. Derek says it's always personal, and it is, because at the end of the day, when they say fight in there, you're fighting for survival.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah, it's all well and good getting the win, but it ain't a game of football. You know what I'm saying? So the guy's trying to knock you out, so that's enough motivation as it is. Saying it's personal and spicy and talking about people's mums and stuff like that. There's no need for that, because when the fight starts, as I say, it's literally a fight for survival, and both of these guys are very capable of knocking each other out. So it's a very interesting fight.
Yeah. Listen, final update for you. Everybody on the main card came through. Of course, we've got our interim title fight between Justin Gaethje and Paddy Pimblett. There were a couple of weight misses and an alarming moment at the start of the day. We had Davison Figueiredo missing weight, but we can tell you that fight is on with Umar Nurmagomedov. He will forfeit 25% of his purse, as will Alex Perez, who also missed weight for his fight, forfeiting 25% of his purse, but the fight continues. We can tell you that the Cameron Smotherman fight, where he actually made weight but passed out in the immediate aftermath of missing weight, that fight has been called off on medical grounds, rightfully so. He didn't look in good shape at all. We wish him all the best for his recovery, and fingers crossed we can revisit that at a more healthier time. If you missed everything that I've just said, take a look at this, because this is how your main card is shaping up. 2 a.m. TNT Sports box office is the destination. Justin Gaethje, Paddy Pimblett, Sean O'Malley and Song Yadong are the main supporting cast. We've just been speaking to the two big boys. Expect fireworks between Waldo Cortes-Acosta and Derek Lewis, Natalia Silva and Rose Namajunas, with Arnold Allen and Jean Silva kicking us off. At midnight is when you can get the prelims, and this is how that all shapes up with the featured prelim Umar Nurmagomedov and Davison Figueiredo. Atiba Gauthier, Nick's new best mate, taking on Andrei Puliev, Nikita Krylov against Modestas Bukauskas, and Alex Perez and Charles Johnson. For the first card of a brand spanking new year, you are welcome. It is absolutely stacked from top to bottom. We cannot wait for it. Gentlemen, thank you very much for your time this morning.
Absolute pleasure.
All we've got to do now is kick back, have a little bit of a relax, and get ready for some serious violence on Saturday night. Once again, TNT Sports box office is your destination from midnight for the prelims. Main card from 2, Paddy the Baddy going for UFC gold against the highlight. We'll see you at the fights.
You've watched him rise. Now watch him headline.
That's it! 2 of the very best.
It's all on the line.
What a fantastic matchup.
This card stacked from top to bottom. I cannot wait.
I'm a Scouser. We don't get knocked out.
Buckle your seatbelts, ladies and gentlemen.
UFC 324. Live only on TNT Sports box office.